What's up, everybody? My name is Chris Jones. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and the first person I want to see when I got to Toronto was Dr. Vibe. Been on his show before. I will be on his show again if he lets me. He's a great guy. I tell everyone to tune in, to download, to subscribe. You're going to learn some things. It's good for your mind, it's good for your heart, it's good for your body, it's good for your spirit. On and off the mic, he's a great guy. You got to check him out. My name's Chris Jones, all from Chicago. Peace and love.
What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show. As always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. I'm the host of Epic Conversations, and the Dr. Vibe show is the place for Epic Conversations. And we have, well, she's not been around for a while. We haven't seen each other for a while, but she's going to be on the platform tonight. She's going to rock the house. Who is this friend of the Dr. Vibe show? It's Quianna Rodriguez. She's the founder of Happy Work Week, which we all wish we have all the time, we always. And at Happy Work Week, Quianna provides people and organizations with coaching solutions that create confidence, direction, and a precise and action success. She's a master certified coach, a certified career coach, and a group coach. And she's committed to providing unparalleled service and performance. So over the last 10 years, training and information technology expertise to both military and corporate agencies. She continues to educate and train others by providing corporate seminars and workshops at companies such as TIAA-CREF, and is currently a professional development instructor at the Carolina School of Broadcasting in Charlotte, North Carolina. So she may end up coaching me because last I checked, I'm a broadcast person, so she may end up coaching me tonight. So welcome to the Dr. Vibe show. It isn't the first time, but it's been a while, and the lady has an outstanding laugh. Let's welcome Quianna Rodriguez. Welcome, Quianna. How are you?
I am lovely. Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing tonight?
I am blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. I am jacked to have you on the show. It's been a long time coming, and it's finally happening.
I really, really appreciate you having me. I'm so excited for this conversation. This is something that I'm very passionate about. So I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Excellent. Well, with like all friends of the Dr. Vibe show, can you give a little background about yourself?
All right. Well, I went to the military in 2000, right out of high school, and I started out delivering mail, and then I went into information assurance. Well, I did system admin, and I passed security clearances while I was in the military. And then when I got out in 2004, that's when I really got into information assurance system admin. And then I just knew that this was not something that I could do for the rest of my life. I was traveling all the time, and as much as I love traveling, but I wasn't seeing anything. I was in meetings, and it was a lifestyle that I knew I couldn't keep up with till retirement. You know, I was only 22, 23, fresh out of the military. I was young. So I decided to get a degree in education. I love teaching. I'm very passionate about teaching, educating. I love coaching. But then I realized that teaching at the grade school level is not my thing. It's not my thing. Those kids are tough. Those kids are tough. So I was blessed enough after I received my certifications to get a position at the broadcasting school. So I teach adults 18 and above, and I teach interview preparation as well as resume writing. So that's really my background. But happy work week really stemmed from, a year. I mean, I've worked military, I've worked corporate, I've worked just entry-level positions. I've worked so many different jobs, really trying to find a good fit for myself. And I realized that there's so many people that are miserable in their position, and there's so many different factors that contribute to that. And I really wanted to change that. I wanted to make a difference and change that around and help people really have a happy work week, because it can happen.
Well, you know what? There's so many questions that I need to ask you, or conversation pieces. Now, you started your story from high school, but what was public school like? What was growing up like, life before high school?
Oh, okay. Well, I was born in Ohio. I was born in Akron, Ohio, and I don't tell many people that, but I'm going to claim it today. But I left when I was 7. I left when I was 7, and I grew up in the DC area. So DC is really home for me. I love the DC area. Everything about it, friends, and my family is still in Ohio though, but all my friends I grew up with are still in the DC area. And life was, I didn't grow up wealthy. My mom was amazing. She taught me just to be very grounded, some very good morals, some values. She was a very strong woman, and she helped me really enjoy, because if you know anything about Ohio's a little, well, where I'm from, it's still a little, for me, I think it's a little sheltered. But the DC area is just so, oh my God, it's so enriching. And I love the DC area. So many different cultures, so many different people. And I got a chance to really learn so much about so many different nationalities, different people, different foods. Oh my gosh, my favorite food is a Persian. It's an Iranian dish. It's gourmet. I can't even say it in Farsi. It's gourmet pashmi. I can't say it, but it means gourmet green, and it is to die for. And when you look at it, you're like, I'm not eating that, but yeah. But growing up I played the violin for 7 years. I love the violin. I love math and science. I had like the regular life. I had a regular life. It wasn't something that was abnormal, but I know that I chose to go to the military because I didn't want my mom to have to pay for college. So I made that decision. I played basketball. I danced. I had just a regular teenage life. But I love sports. I wasn't ripping and running out there. I just I love to just kind of hang out with my friends and play the violin. We will have little jam sessions sometimes, and then that's about it.
Okay. Well, and thank you for sharing that, because it's probably not that you share a lot. So I'm glad that you got a chance to share it.
Yes.
And one thing you have to know about Quianna, if you don't like laughter, you better shut down the conversation right now, because Quianna loves to laugh, and she has a beautiful laugh.
Thank you. I do. I love to laugh. And I think because it's so important to have some time where you just let loose during the day and just let it out. And I mean, you don't know how your day is gonna go, but laughter can always bring joy to a situation. And so I grew up just always having that spirit about me. I love to laugh. I love to laugh. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And I wrote poetry. I wrote poetry.
You mentioned your. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah. And I used to write poetry a lot. I don't write it as much. So growing up, I would write all the time. I'm really a writer. I love writing. Mm-hmm.
At the stage you are in life right now, how are you the same and or different than your mother?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say that I definitely am very persistent, very determined. She was an extremely honest woman, very knowledgeable, just classy lady. And I would have to say that, you know, I'm a lot like my mom in that regards. And she never allowed in her circumstances to dictate how she succeeded. My mom was not like, she wasn't wealthy, but she took a jump and she took a risk to go from Ohio, which Ohio, it's Akron is just a small town, to the Washington, D.C. area, where the income, you have to make more. It requires, the cost of living is higher. And she took this jump, and she was a risk taker, and she made it work. And I commend her. I would say that I'm a lot like her in that regard. And she knows what she wants. She knew what she wanted. And that's how I am at this point in my life. That's how I am.
Okay. Excellent. Now, you had mentioned going into the armed forces. What was that experience like for you? And what did you learn from it?
Ooh, that's a great question. Oh, I absolutely loved the military. I had such a great experience. Well, there were good times and bad times, but overall, I learned a lot about myself, because I am not a morning person. I can't stand the morning. It takes me a long time to wake up. So for me to be able to wake up and people hurrying you up, and I'm patting myself on the back. I don't even know how I did it. I don't know. But that's just basic training. But even going through, I've met some amazing individuals, made some lifelong friends in the military. I got a chance to go overseas for the first time. I went to Saudi Arabia, and it's just crazy because I felt like there was so much hatred towards other countries, and because of, I would say it would be ignorance, or the lack, ignorance is the lack of knowledge of other cultures. So when I went there, it was so fun, because they were we always had an interpreter. And so the interpreter would ask, I'll ask a question and he'll explain. And so they would ask me, why are you working? I was like, why am I working? I was like, because I have to take care of myself. They were like, no, here we take care of our women. I was like, oh, okay. And so I have tattoos. And so they were like, what is that? What does that mean? And so they were so curious about me as a woman, and as an American woman. And, it was so much fun. It was long hours there. Oh my gosh, we worked so long, but I had fun. I can have fun anywhere though. I can have fun anywhere. But overall in the military, I learned so much. It really gave me the experience and knowledge to propel me into a career outside of the military. It was amazing. The only reason why I got out was because of the war. I said, nobody's war.
Yeah, you can say that.
That's the reason why I got out. I got out because of the war. I couldn't get down with the war. I couldn't get down with the war.
No problem. So once you left, what was the first thing that you did? Where was the first direction you took?
Oh, so I had a decision. My sergeant, he was like, just stay in and finish your degree, at least stay in, finish your degree. And I said, if I do more than 4 years, I'm going to do 20. And a matter of fact, I would be retired right now. Actually, it's ridiculous when I think about it. Because, you know, when you're young, you don't think 20 years go by so fast. You don't feel like, oh, 20 years is so long, you know, so far. And it's not. It goes by so fast. And so I said, if I do more than 4, I'm going to just stay in. And so I didn't. And so there was a career fair on the base. And so I went, and there was this gentleman. He was the husband of a woman-owned business. It was a small woman-owned business. And they were looking for someone to do information assurance. And so, like, I'm a risk taker. I've never been to New Jersey. And they were like, there's this job in New Jersey. You have a security clearance. We need someone with a clearance with this expertise. Can you come do the interview? I said, sure. So I drove up to New Jersey. They liked me. And so I worked there. And so that's when I went into, and I was a contractor for the Army, and I did information assurance and system admin for that office. It was really fun too. I had fun.
So when did teaching enter the journey? Teaching of kids.
Okay, so that was after I did that, but I traveled a lot. I said I did that for 2.5 years, meeting after meeting, and that's when I said something has to change. And so that's when I end up getting my degree in education, and I worked at a high school in New Jersey for about 2.5 years, substitute teaching, study halls, and it was hard. That was tough, because and that was the time I was married at the time, and I was pregnant with my children. So working at a high school, pregnant, and I was pregnant 2 years because I got pregnant back to back. So that was rough.
I imagine, but I can't imagine because I can't bear children last I checked. So
yeah, so that was it was challenging.
But you know, it's so wonderful. You can laugh about it, but some people going through that could not laugh about it.
Right. I mean, because I just think that it's so important to not even learn from all the experiences that we have, but also realize that, you know, there's good times and there's bad times, and that wasn't necessarily a bad time. It just was the high school setting for me. I would prefer high school over elementary. I don't teach. I cannot teach little kids.
That's not you.
No, I prefer. I can do high school even. I prefer not to, but middle school, elementary.
So let me ask, do you remember the moment when you said, you know what, I can't do that anymore? Was there an event or a series of events saying, you know what, it's time for me to pivot?
Well, actually, it happened the way God designed it. It was so interesting because I was in Jersey, I was married, and we were in Jersey, and then we decided to move down to North Carolina. And I'm saying, oh, well, I'm a teacher. I mean, I can teach anywhere. So it wasn't like a big deal. But when we got here, North Carolina had a hiring freeze on all teachers. So I couldn't. I couldn't teach. I couldn't teach at, the schools. I had to get a different job, and that it kind of took me away from the teaching path. However, that position taught me a whole lot of what I help people with now. See, this is the thing, that when we think that we're not in the right place, or we feel like we're getting sidetracked from what we want to do or what we think we should be doing in that moment, it's so important to pay attention at that direction and soak in everything you can. Because then, even looking back, there's even things that I was thinking about as of late, because I've been reading a lot of different books. But as of late, I've been thinking about some of the things that I experienced at this position. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the reason why I went through this. This is the reason why I can help people get through certain things. And even with one of my last clients, some of the things that she went through, I went through, and it helped me coach her. It helped me coach her even better. So, yes.
So where did you get the desire to go into coaching, and I'm saying it right, go through all the courses? When did you realize that coaching was something that you wanted to get into?
Okay, so the real thing is when because now I'm divorced. So as I was going through my divorce, finishing a psychology degree with 2 kids, it was just so much work. It was so much work, working, trying to take care of them, going through a divorce. It was just so much work. So I said, how can I truly help people the way I want to? And still, get some education behind it. So I did research, and I learned a lot more about what coaching was. And I found a school that was accredited that you can get your certification. And so I ended up going to World Coach Institute, and I have 7 certifications through them. And it wasn't something that was, it took time, but it wasn't like a degree. It wasn't overwhelming. And I learned so much. And I think what I learned through that education really set the, I love coaching, and really pairing that with all of my other experience, it gels so well. And I'm just so grateful that I had that path that kind of led me to it. Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely amazing, because I have 1 coaching certification, and I know how much work that took. You have 7.
7.
Like, how long did it take you to acquire 7 coaching certifications? Because I've never met a coach that has 7, let alone like 3 or 4, but 7. Like, you should be a millionaire, man. You should be Mrs. Tony Robbins or Mrs. Les Brown.
There was someone that I was going to school with. She had 28 and counting. Like that's the thing that, I really harp on, because so many people really don't understand what coaching is and how it helps you. And I just posted on my Instagram what coaching isn't, because it's not consulting. I'm not a mentor. I'm not here to cheer you. And, that's not what coaching is. And so, but there are so many different kinds of certification: family, relationship, spiritual. I mean, there's so many different certifications out there that you can receive.
Well, we'll have to do another separate segment on coaching in general, because if you got 7 certifications, we got to find out some stuff from you.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Well, hey, that's good. It's good. I love coaching. So let's get into the. And as I told Quianna before we started, we're not going to cover everything she's wanting to cover tonight. So realize, people, there's going to be a part 2, because we wanted to find more about her, and I find her journey and her story fascinating. So now let's get into the slide here. How did Happy Work Week start?
Okay, that's a great question. Ironically, it just happened, like I said, the way God works. I mean, God is amazing. What happened was I had a company called On Point Career Solutions. And it started off really, I was writing resumes, and then I got my coaching certifications, and I was coaching, and I was doing workshops. And then I wasn't really on social media that much. Not at all. I would do a lot of referral work. Clients, they would refer me to friends, family, and that's how I would get business. And I knew that you'll get to a certain plateau with referrals. And so I wanted to venture out into social media. So when I went on different platforms, I wanted to create a handle. And so I came up with Happy Work Week. And I had no idea that it would be so catchy. People would take on to it, to the point where a lot of people that I know online, they don't even call me Quianna. They don't even know me by Quianna. They just call me Happy Work Week. That's my name. And so that's how it really got started. And then I realized, there's so much. And then when we were on Blab, I had to handle Happy Work Week, and there was a gentleman, if you know Rocco Steady, he was like, "Girl, that is a really catchy, Happy Work Week. You're a happy person. You got your whole vibe going. Do you have that website?" I said, "No, I don't have the web," because I didn't even think of it as a business. I had my other, I had the name of my business. And so he bought the domain for me right then, right there. Wow. Yes, wow. He bought he said, "You have to do something with this, and you need this domain." And so from there, I just really changed. I do the same thing that I did under On Point Career Solutions, but I changed it to Happy Work Week and really created a vision for the business. Honestly, my passion, what I want to see happen are enjoyable workplaces where people align their hearts and minds with the company's mission and values. That is the type of workplace that I envision, and that is what I want to work towards with Happy Work Week. And so that's really how it started. It started by me just creating a handle online, and it turned into the main thing.
So how long has Happy Work Week been in existence?
About a year. Just a year. Now, On Point Career Solutions, I was doing that for about 3 years prior to Happy Work Week. But it's only just a year, going into year 2.
So when you first started Happy Work Week, early days like, what were the first few weeks like with starting that out?
I'm sorry?
What were the first early days of Happy Work Week like? You had the domain name bought for you, which what else is it? You seem to be so blessed. What were the early days like for Happy Work Week? How did you get things started from scratch, so to speak?
I see. Okay. Well, when I was doing social media, because Periscope had just came out. And so I started scoping, and what I do on Periscope, and I do scopes at 9, and I do the work week challenge. And so the work week challenge, first of all, I'm not a fan of Facebook, and when I started getting a little discouraged with certain platforms, because when I'm sending out message and sending out content through Facebook, people aren't really engaging the way I had thought. However, when I got on video, people responded to me. People, it was like I was able to connect with people in a whole different way. And so when I did the work week challenge, it was amazing. I had so many people to participate, connect, and just different opportunities presented itself. And the work week challenge, it was so fun. I just came every Sunday, and I still do it. I do the work week challenge now. I come on Sunday and I give a challenge for the week. The work week challenge is really to help change the perspective of work as a whole. So many, Mondays, I can't stand Mondays. But we go through the work week, and I have you really think about certain things. So I come on Sunday, give you a challenge, and we work through this challenge throughout the week. So that's really how it kind of started. But there were other things I still did. I still locally had clients, still did resumes, I still taught, and just really trying to make a transition into the business full time. Mm-hmm.
So happy, and we're not. Time is restricted here. We've got not a lot of time left. We'll maybe chat about one or a few things that Quianna has experienced, people talking about the work week and their work weeks. And then down the road, we may focus on specific subjects. So don't expect some miracle solutions tonight, everybody. That's going to come. This is just the start. This is just the start. All right? Just the start. So let me ask you, when do you remember the first client you had when you started Happy Work Week? Do you remember that moment and what they came to you about?
I do. She was a woman, and she was a young woman. She was looking to really transition and find what her career, to find, what should I be doing with my life. I have all these degrees. However, I don't know what I should do. And she felt, she felt so helpless. She was in a transition. She lacked confidence. And I personally I do like to meet face to face, and so I got a chance to meet face to face with her. Even though there's some people that aren't in North Carolina, so I have to Skype. But this particular individual, she was here, and I have to say that that was such, I love her so much. I love to see her progress. I love to see her transition, really build that confidence and really recognize her abilities and her skills and her gifts and what that she's a woman. She's growing into a person that she wants to be, and it was just so fun. And she was just amazing. I remember, but she had a lot of trouble at her position.
Okay, that's more than fair. So let me ask, are the majority of your clients men or women?
Mostly men. I work with a lot of men, and especially on yes, a lot of men. And I always wondered that, and so I hadn't even thought about before. I said, maybe what coaching business is out there just for men? You have all these coaches out here, women, women empowerment, and what coaching firms. I mean, there are some, of course, but you rarely see one that just say just for men. But I wouldn't do that. But I do have a lot of male clients. I do. And the male clients.
Well, just a sidebar here. If there's any.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, hey, if you ever have any male clients you can't handle, you can push them on to me. You've got so much stuff going on. Us little guys, we need clients once in a while too.
You're so funny. Oh my gosh. Yes, but when I go through, because I have looked at that, because you got to look at who's really attracted to you, who is really coming to you. And when I went through my client base, and because it's important to do evaluations on yourself as well, but I noticed that the majority of my clients that I have had over the years have been male. They have been male.
No?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. No, I'm just asking, why do you feel the majority of your clients have been men?
Okay, so I think because before I went on social media, I was here locally in referrals, and in Charlotte, this is a huge banking industry, medical. There's a lot of corporations. Well, their headquarters, some of them left, but there was a lot of corporate offices here in Charlotte. And so going into the work with men, looking to progress in their career, they were coming to me asking for resume help, different professional development. And I think that's the reason, because on the corporate level, when I was working in the corporate arena, there were just a lot of male clients that will come and ask me for help. And then the gentlemen, and I think also because men will talk to men. So once I help one male client, he will go talk to his other colleague. And not saying that men don't talk to women, but how the office is more of a professional setting, and so he'll probably talk to his male colleague, and he'll refer him over to me, and then he'll refer somebody. And so that's how it flowed for me. That's how it flowed.
We're talking about the modern workplace. We're gonna have to have another section on another conversation with the modern workplace, because we're not going to get into definitely. But let me ask you, from your observation, how are men responding to the modern workplace compared to women responding to the modern workplace?
That is a tough question. I never looked at it from a male-female perspective. Wow. Well, I think I don't know if I would say that it's a male-female thing. I think that the biggest issue with the modern workplace is that people don't like change. And technology has tremendously changed the way businesses conduct, or their, how it's run. And so not only that, with outsourcing, I mean, that it's been years in the making, right? So with outsourcing jobs and just things have changed so much from the way it used to be as far as benefits. Companies are paying lower, they're expecting more, and I think that it's not necessarily a male-female thing. Now, if you want to talk about challenges that male and females face, I think that's different. But as far as the workplace as a whole, I think it's really kind of like the people and the company. And that's the way I look at it. It's not necessarily male or female.
Okay, so let's now ending. We're going to have a part 2 of the modern workplace. Okay, can you hear me, Quianna?
I can hear you now.
Okay, well, let me just say that again. What are some of the challenges that is modern workplace?
Okay, so if I heard you correctly, what I heard was that what are some of the challenges that I think that people face in the modern workplace?
That is correct.
Okay. So one of the challenge, number one, I would say that just management as a whole, how they communicate, it's a huge issue. Management and employees, that communication is vital for just the company in general. I know that that's a huge challenge. I think, man, there's so many. I think I'll hit on that one real quick. One thing that I explain to my students, I explain to my clients, is that you might be frustrated with your supervisor. You have to remember that your supervisor has a supervisor, and that supervisor has a supervisor, especially depending on where you work. Every company is different. Most of the time, your supervisor has a supervisor. So directives come from the top down. So when there's change that happens, you have to really remember that your supervisor might be just falling in line with what their supervisor told them to do, where you might know how to do it a certain way, and they're changing, they're asking the employees to do it a certain way, but you have to remember that your supervisor has a supervisor, and that supervisors don't always, or management doesn't have to explain it in every single aspect of changes. They don't have to explain all the aspects of what's going on However, things have to get done according to new directives. And so, and then vice versa, you know, I think that is so important for management to hear from the people that that work the position every day. It has to teeter back, and I think that's another challenge with the communication. You know.
I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you. So what I'd like you to do is just finish off your comments on management. Then if you can give us your contact information, because I know it's near the top of the hour, and I know you have to go, and plus we're going to do some more conversation. So if you can just close off complete what you're saying about the work and manage, if your contact go, and we'll certainly have you back again.
Okay, no problem. I just, you know, really hitting home. I think the biggest challenge of the modern workplace is communication between management and the employees. I think that's a huge hindrance. I think also companies, the flexibility, people.
What's up, everybody? My name is Chris Jones. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. And the first person I want to see when I got to Toronto was Dr. Vibe. Been on his show before. I will be on his show again if he lets me. He's a great guy. I tell everyone to tune in, to download, to subscribe. You're going to learn some things. It's good for your mind, it's good for your heart, it's good for your body, it's good for your spirit. On and off the mic, he's a great guy. You got to check him out. My name's Chris Jones, all from Chicago. Peace and love.